First of all, introduction about the motherland.
Ghana is such a vibe. I haven't been on camera for a while because I've been taking in the moments. But just look at this. My chef just brought me this, okay? Just look at that. So, if you haven't seen me on camera, this is why.
I feel like people don't really understand why Ghana is just such an amazing place. It's like, when you get off the plane here, first of all, the first thing that they say is welcome home. Where in the world can you go where they're saying welcome home when you get off the plane? And it's like, it feels genuine. You feel like you're home. You walk around, people speak to you, people say hi, people want to converse with you. Like, it's just like a place that just, I can't even describe it. It's just a feeling. Ghana is a feeling. And it's just like, if you know, you know. If you haven't been here, you probably can't relate. But if you've been here, I feel like you know. This place holds, it's just, Ghana is just, oh.
Once upon a time, in the motherland Ghana, where the president, the current president, soon to leave office, in the person of His Excellency, Nana Adankwa Akufo-Addo, made a proclamation and announcement of the return of Africans, Americans, of citizens from Africa, spread across different continents, different nations, to return back home to their roots.
To take up Ghanaian citizenship. This batch are the third since 2019, when Ghana launched its Year of Return program, aiming to open the country up to African Americans and descendants of slaves taken out of Africa during the slave trade who want to return. Justice Baidu.
The colorful event heralding the granting of citizenship to these persons happened in the capital, Accra. Ghana has been repositioning itself to be a destination of choice for all persons of African descent in the diaspora looking to come back home to the continent since 2019, when it launched the Year of Return program. Through this initiative, the country has actively engaged persons in the African diaspora in the areas of business, trade, and cultural exchange. President Akufo-Addo, speaking at the event, said this marked a significant milestone in reconnecting all persons within the African diaspora to their ancestral roots.
Today we embrace you as our own, as fellow citizens of this nation, as brothers and sisters, and as part of the Ghanaian family. And today, as we grant you citizenship, we welcome you not just as visitors, but as Ghanaians, fully and forever.
Ghana has now launched the Beyond the Return initiative, which is expected to woo more persons of African descent to invest back, not just in Ghana, but in other countries across.
She's staying. She's not going to back to America.
It's been decided for me already. Yes, Baba. How are you?
As a result of being enslaved centuries ago in the hands of the colonials, they didn't just return. After their return in mass, they were also taken down to their roots to be initiated, to be cleansed, fortified, and welcomed back home.
Of slave trade in the history of this country was Charleston, South Carolina, and Wall Street. Everybody keep acting like racism was down south. New York, Wall Street was the captain of slave trade. Right down there where the African burial ground is. Why was the African burial ground there? They buried folk because many of us landed there. We never got for decades much out of that area because we were waiting to be sold. And that's where the Lower East Side is where the black community started. It wasn't until later that they came up north, side of Central Park, at a little community center, and then Adam Clay Powell Sr. brought us to Harlem. We were isolated and we were segregated. Now, out of that came where we are today. Why do we need reparations? Because today in New York State.
My name is Kelly Reed. I am Ms. Black USA, and I just finished going to the last bath here in Ghana. The experience was absolutely incredible and spiritual. We were able to get cleansed of negativity and walk the same path that our ancestors walked to the very last bath. It was so spiritual and thought-provoking to be in the same waters that my ancestors were in before they went over to America to be enslaved. I was able to get well wishes from them that they put in the water before they left, and I feel empowered now returning here to complete the work that they never got to finish. So I encourage everyone to come here and visit so that you can have your own cleansing and spiritual experience.
Because these are the nuts inside. So if the nut is not mature, this side is being sealed like a lid of a book. But when the nut is mature, then here will be open. So instead of monkey putting the head inside and take one of the nut, monkey tried to take more of the nut. So monkey went in like this. After taking more of the nut, the jaw became open. The monkey gets stuck. You see how it is? The jaw here.
And after that, this happened. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, welcome back to another interesting, intriguing, educative, inspiring, and most importantly, entertaining episode right here on the stable of Vibes Upon Vibes with Chivik. Welcome to another section of a very interesting story of the history and the return of Africans, particularly diasporans, from the motherland Ghana back home to their roots. Thank you for tuning in. And at this point, before we continue, I would love you to hit on the like button if you have not. And if this is your first time here, hi, you're welcome. Do well by joining this family as you hit on the subscription button. It's totally and absolutely free of charge. And I promise you, you can't get it as a dull moment on here on the stable of Vibes with Chivik. Now back to the subject matter and back to the story. After the return of African Americans, Caribbeans, South Africans, in fact, in the continent Africa, so many thousands returned back home to their roots. And this marks a great history that will live to stand the test of time, generations and generations unborn to come. And I will say that this is a smart, great move from the motherland Ghana. And as an ambassador, I am pleased, excited, and elated to share this with you. After their return and settling in, there are so many who were so confused and lost as of how life is definitely going to be for them, how they are definitely going to invest based on the money that they have worked hard for, yes, gathered in different parts of the countries, particularly in America, in Canada, in UK, and so many other countries, after being received in their country, but trust the motherland to always be fruitful and multiplying. They did invested, first off, in real estate, in buildings, magnificent, outstanding castles in the motherland, in terms of personal owned accommodations and even rentage. And we have a story of a man who has broken records, who has been breaking boundaries when it comes to this field. And this is a story.
Is this process easy? What do I need to do? How do I make it happen? And today, my special guest is the man. What inspired you to even come to Africa?
Why have I been to Africa? It's part of me coming back and forth, like, man, just come. I had too many questions. I felt at home here. I'm a man. I'm not a black man, I'm a man. You know what I mean? And so that's different.
What do you say to the people who they mock and say, you know what? If Africa's so good, how come so many people come to the U.S. off the U.S. so bad? How come so many people coming to the U.S.?
So the sky's is the limit for us. We just have to take advantage of the opportunity that exists here on the continent. Africa, you have the people, you have the resources, and you have the ability to change.
Everybody, this is Jay here from Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron, and I'm here to answer so many of your questions about moving to Ghana, real estate in Ghana, and we're diving deep into this because as a result of all of my travels and just so many comments that I get in the feed, or whether it's an email or a DM, people are wondering, how can I move to Ghana? How can I move and not get scammed? Where can I find a reputable company? Is this process easy? What do I need to do? How do I make it happen? And today, my special guest is the man, Mr. Drake Taylor of the Beyond Investments. And man, you are here doing the daggone thing. I mean,
I'm working.
Yeah, you're working. And I tell you, we had a chance to meet. We met for the first time over at one of the local restaurants.
Yeah.
And
About a year ago,
and we talked about trying to connect. And I've been busy traveling and everything. And I said, this time I'm in Ghana for a little while, and I wanted to talk to you because you have a very interesting story. But you also have results attached to the story, and that's a brilliant part about it. A lot of times we have a story, it's just a story. But now, what I'm seeing is the manifestation of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Drake Taylor today, and man, let's talk. Let's get into this conversation.
Let's go. We also sent each other to the airport.
That's right.
I think he was leaving out or coming in or something like that. So we definitely seen each other in between time. But yeah, definitely been working, brother.
Been working, and that's what happens. It's good to see a brother working. Before we even get into this, it's good to see another brother from the U.S. On the continent, who's, you've had experience in life. I mean, you're a grown man, so you've gone through the fire and gone through some things, and now here you are. You've had your encounter with the continent, and now you're building. What inspired you to even come to Africa?
I had a partner who was coming back and forth, but my uncle's house used to be called Little Africa. he was always talking to Africa. You know, you hear the Africa stuff, X, Y, and Z, going one year after the other year. We new to it. And so I got to the point where if I'm African American, what do I know African? Start studying, start reading books, you know what I mean? I became a hermit. You know, I didn't watch TV for like 10 years. I'm just reading, learning X, Y, and Z. And so came to the point I travel around the world. I'm like, why haven't I been to Africa? Been all these other places, DR, Brazil, China, Canada, you know what I mean? Like, why haven't I been to Africa? And so my partner been coming back and forth, like, man, just come, because I had too many questions. So in 2019, on the year return, I came and fell in love with it, and the rest is history.
Here you are, building houses.
Yeah.
Now, what inspired you to start building houses? One thing to come on a trip and have an experience. But before we get to the houses, when you came to Ghana, there's a reason why you wanted to come back. What happened in Ghana that brought you back?
I felt at home here. I'm a man. I'm not a black man. I'm a man. You know what I mean? And so that's different. When you're here, it's hard to explain to people, you know, the peace and the freedom that you have here.
Yeah.
You don't get this kind of peace and freedom in the States. I ain't got to worry about nobody trying to shoot and kill me. I ain't got to worry about the police. I ain't got to worry about systematic racism. I'm free to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And, you know, we spend so much time in the U.S. building up the U.S. Why not build up the continent? You know what I mean? And so I divested everything in the U.S. I'm just here putting my money where my mouth is, building up Africa.
Now, you know, the thing is, when we were growing up, they would always say them Africans don't like you. They don't want you to come over there. They're going to take your organs and all kind of things.
I ask people all the time, and what language, what culture are you speaking of? You know, in Ghana alone, you got about 80 different dialects. And so when they all have a meeting and say we're not messing with those African Americans, you look at Nigeria, they got over 200. You know what I mean? And so what language and which culture is not dealing with us?
That's real. Because you hear the things where don't go over there, they don't like us, and you see how they treat us over here in America. And
man, I feel bad because I went to a waterfall, and I seen a whole bunch of Indians at the waterfall. And they're out there having the time of their life, like they own it, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, people asking me questions, how safe is it in Ghana? You know, do I need to worry about this and that? And they out there at the waterfall enjoying their goddamn self, you know what I mean? It's like, it hurt me, you know what I mean, almost, where it's like they enjoying the fruits and labors of Ghana, and we worried about the wrong damn things.
You're right.
You know, so it's one of them things, man. It's not a utopia, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons for me and a lot of people that's already here.
Now, you said something so key when you talked about the Indians being at the waterfall. And that's something I've seen all throughout Ghana, all throughout the continent.
Yeah, East Africa,
but in here, the Lebanese.
Yeah, Lebanese, Chinese.
I mean, people coming over like they own the joint.
Yeah.
Really, because they do in many instances.
Some instances, they're taking advantage of what they can take advantage of. And we haven't collectively said, you know what, let's come over and put something in play. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do and leverage my development to say, hey, this is opportunity, this is a blueprint to actually be able to come over here and develop and build and work with the people and treat them how they should be treated. You know, when you see these other cultures coming in, they're not treating the people here like they should be treated, man. They treat them like, you know, they below them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't like that. You know what I mean? And so I treat people fair. I got like 50 people out there working right now, getting off work, and it's like you treat them good, they're gonna treat you good. You know what I mean? You're helping the community out, X, Y, and Z. And so as long as you can make a positive footprint here, you know, everything will work out hopefully in your favor.
So now you came over, you had the encounter, you saw for yourself, and obviously you felt like you were at home. How did you get into real estate development? Because it's one thing to feel like you're home, it's another thing to start building homes.
Yeah, I wasn't doing development from the ground up. I was doing rehabs here and there. I was appointed from the mayor's office to oversee projects going from 20 million to 100 million, approving of them. And so I had some knowledge of development. I work with budgets. I ran a nonprofit, got millions of dollars from a nonprofit, so I understand budgets and money and X, Y, and Z. I had a concept of building. My grandfather used to build all his houses and rehab them, so I had some knowledge of construction where I knew enough, you know what I mean? And so when I was doing tours, I came on a tour, loved the way, you know, the tour ran X, Y, and Z. And I started doing tours because people see pictures and then they're like, oh, I want to come to Ghana, X, Y, and Z. And then that's how you start doing tours. And then people wanted to stay here, like myself. And so I got tired of paying hotels 30, 40, 50 grand, staying in these hotels. You know what, now I just need to build something for myself. That way I ain't got to pay these hotels 30, 50 grand. And so I just been building an idea of being able to rent out the properties that I sell, or the people who I sell to, able to rent and benefit from the people that I'm bringing in here and providing, you know, some level of tourism to the mountains up here in Ghana.
Now, here's a question I have for you, and it's something that we talked about in our own time. When it comes to people hearing about investing in real estate in Ghana, first thing that many of us will hear talk about a scam.
Yeah.
People getting scammed. I know people have gotten scammed.
Yeah.
But I've gotten scammed. I've gotten scammed.
Yeah.
Right. And so my concern has always been finding someone who's reputable, someone who I can trust, and someone who has results. So when I came out and I saw what you were building, and I said, wow. I said, it's not, some people come to you with a blueprint or a rendering, and they say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Give me 50 grand, and then we'll come to you 5 years later with a hope, a wish, and a dream.
Yeah.
But you had structures that were going up and completed.
Right.
And I said, wait a minute. I said, this right here has already spoken volumes because of results, and you've already delivered. So how do you either encourage people to avoid the scams, and then what do you offer that's different where someone would feel comfortable going with you, helping them with the project, versus going with, someone who just threw up a sign on the side of the road and said, come, we got these new, developing condos going up or homes?
I think part of it for me was I had a good reputation back home. People can see me via social media and say, okay, we see this brother mentoring. He got a fruit orchard where he's feeding people free in the community, X, Y, and Z. And so that's basically was my calling card. You know what I mean? My character was my card of doing good business. And so people entrusted in me. They seen all the stuff I was doing online. I was like, you know what? We feel we can trust this brother. People still skeptical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a scam. Africa's a long place to send some money to. And so luckily people, believed in what I was doing here and just showcased it on social media, even when we started making bricks. The lady, Shonda, who bought the property that we sitting in, I didn't know her, but she lives 3 blocks away from where I worked at in Kansas City, Missouri. And she came here, seeing where we was making these blocks on the property. Actually, we were standing at where we sitting at, where we was making the blocks at. There's nothing but a pile of blocks. And so she believed in the vision, and now she have a finished product, you know what I mean? And so when people are able to see you come through and finish what you say you was going to do, that helps out a lot. It just, it's not easy for everybody to be doing it. But it's work like anything else. You know what I mean? You got to do due diligence. It's not like real estate in the States. You got to do a lot more than what people expect to do when you build it here.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because with my groups, they come over and the first thing they say is, Jay, how do I get involved in real estate in Ghana? I want to buy some land.
Yeah.
And I see what I can do, and the mindset is automatically U.S. Yeah. This is how we do it in the U.S. And I say, pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little different over here, but if you're patient and if you're willing to go through the due diligence process, then you can come up with something really nice. When you hear people say that, oh, I just want to get into real estate, and I want to just, and you see the excitement and the naivete that really comes with it.
Yeah.
How do you encourage them?
Encourage them, I say it can happen, you just have to be patient. Ghana will teach you patience whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? Nothing happens fast in Ghana. If it does, it's a red flag. Nothing moves like you want it to move. They say a week, expect 2 or 3 weeks, you know what I mean, to get something done. And so I tell people, take your time, spend a little bit of money up front on your due diligence.
Okay, I was going to break that down. Yeah.
Get your lawyer,
okay.
Get a certified surveyor, you know what I mean? Even getting people don't know this, get a small loan on the property, because the bank won't loan you any money if there's an issue with the property. You got to go to the land, talk to people surrounding the land because they know what's going on with the land.
Might be flooding or something.
Might be flooding. Somebody might be a dispute that might not come up when you search the land between two people because it's ongoing, so they have it recorded inside the court system. So there's a lot of things, you know what I mean, you need to do that people just don't know. You know what I mean? Who knows to go to the land and put some sand there on a property to make sure that somebody can say, hey, what you doing putting sand on my property? You know what I mean? That's called testing the land. You know what I mean? So who's to think about that? Who's to think to put up a fence around the land and say, okay, now put this fence up and see if somebody's going to come and say, this is my land. It's called testing the land. So it's a lot of things you need to do. And I even got another step that once you get consultant, then I'll provide that to say, okay, this will make sure that there's no issues with this land. You know what I mean? And taking a whole other step that nobody else is doing. You know what I mean? Coming from the States. If something's shaky, they won't do it. You know what I mean? And so just extra steps that I do that other people just don't do. I got to go to your house. If I'm buy some land from you, I need to see where you live at.
Right.
You know what I mean? I need to know where you lay at. You know what I mean?
So in case you need to knock on that door.
I knock on the door. I got people invested in me.
Yeah.
The first thing people say is, I told you so, or I knew I shouldn't have did this, because they're already skeptical of investing in Africa or in Ghana. You know what I mean? And so that's, people just wait to say that.
It will interest you to know that he is not just the only one alone that the motherland has blessed. Like I said, there are thousands, many of them, that the motherland has blessed in quantum, that they time to time do not fail to come back to give their feedback, to give their inspiring, motivating and captivating story as of how the motherland has been of great benefit, great blessings, favor, increment in their financial status. And here is the story of another young lady and her husband in the motherland.
Any of the Caribbean countries looking to move to Ghana, buy a land and build your house, this video is for you. Today, I'm here with someone who have done exactly that, relocated from the UK to Ghana and purchased land and built her own property in this neighborhood, which is East Legon Hills. If you know, you know. This is one of the most sought after locations here in Ghana, Accra. And she has one of the most biggest and beautiful houses in the neighborhood. I'm here to communicate with her, to chat with her, how she's able to do it, and what did it take exactly? What was the process like? And so, if you're interested and you want to see yourself do exactly what she has done, you know, in the near future, this video is for you. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. That's very fancy. Hello.
Hello, Hayford.
Have patience.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Nice to meet you.
This is a beautiful house. You know what I want to say? This looks very big in person than I saw on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Wow, this is a beautiful house.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want my audience, you know, to learn how you made it happen. Who are you? Where did you relocate it from? And how are you able to do something like this?
No worries at all. Yeah, I'll be sharing some of that today.
I love that. I love that. Guys, I'm very interested. Today, if you're interested in building on the continent of Africa here in Ghana, this video is for you. So, have patience. Please briefly introduce yourself to the people watching.
Okay, guys, so my name is Patience. My channel name is Have Patience. I am actually a Ghanaian. I was born here and went to the UK at a very young age. And on my quest to return back, I built this amazing home.
Wow. And you built it yourself, because I saw on your YouTube channel that you were supervising the whole process, right? You were on the ground.
So actually not initially. It was between myself and my husband.
Okay.
Initially, we had a friend who was in the UK with us. He made a decision to move back home. And because out of all our circles, he was the only person we knew that had built a house.
Wow.
We asked him if he could help us out, and he also was like eager for us to come back home. So he stepped in and gave us a hand with the initial stages.
I like that. First, just tell me, how many square meters is there?
So on paper, it's supposed to be 80 by 80, but I feel it's actually bigger.
Really?
And I think it's because we're a corner plot. So I think, you know, but yeah, 80 by 80.
Okay, so show me around.
Okay, no worries. So we'll start off this way.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started back in, actually we purchased the land back in 2009, but we didn't start building until 2012, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Okay.
So we kind of sat on it for a little while.
Oh wow, so you bought it very early.
Yeah.
Because when I was coming here, actually I live 5 minutes away from you.
Oh wow, we're neighbors.
Yeah, I guess so. That's why I was so early.
When I send you, oh wow, we're neighbors.
Yeah, I guess so. Absolutely, that's why I was so early.
When I send you the location, you must have been like, oh, that's good.
That's good. Travel too far. And I know this neighborhood is expensive. You can't even get to buy now.
Yeah, now.
Buy land right here, and if you can, it's like hundreds.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. So when we purchased our land, the only property that was here, you see that house there with the red roof?
Yeah.
That was the only property here. But even, in fact, it wasn't even here yet.
They were building it.
They had, when we bought it, actually nothing was there. It was all bush back then in 2009.
2009?
Yeah, it was bush. Because I remember when I said to my husband that, listen, I want to move back home, but I'm a city girl. Even though I like nature and stuff, I still want to be close to, you know, amenities and stuff like that. So we had another friend whose family owned the land.
Yeah.
Well, at least they were charged with distributing the land for the family.
Okay.
And he had an office at ANC Mall.
ANC Mall, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and we'd had some investments in Ghana, and we decided to pull the money out to buy this place. And thankfully, the timing was perfect, because a few months after that, apparently that investment went down. So if we hadn't pulled the money out at the time.
Was it men's gold?
No,
there wasn't there.
No,
okay.
that wasn't there.
That was it. Okay, yeah.
It wasn't that. Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't that. So thankfully, honestly, I don't know what it was that was telling me that. Look, I said to myself, can we just take the money and use it for something else?
Interesting.
I said, you know, I've always wanted to come back, so we kind of need to start. And the idea was I wanted to do it whilst when my kids were young. So that we come here. The vision was to have them running around, but if you see them today, they're even taller than me.
Interesting.
So that was the vision, like, you know, having my kids running around, pool, nice house. So that's how we got to buy the land. And then when my eldest was 9 months, we came to Ghana with him, and we were going to come and visit the land, because even though we purchased it, we hadn't seen it. We knew the area from previous visits.
Really?
So because we'd come. I liked East Legon, but obviously at the time, buying land in East Legon was a no-no.
Yeah.
And then we were getting told that, okay, the next best thing is East Legon Hills, East Legon Hills. So I said, okay. So I used to make a joke. I was like, yeah, I want a house in the hills, baby. Like, you know, even it's not technically a hill, but yeah. I used to always say that. And then, so we made the purchase. And I remember the day we were coming to check it out, the land guards were around.
I see.
And honestly, if I tell you the story, like one of them came up to the car. We were with a taxi and the rep from the office that we bought the land from. And they stopped the taxi. Obviously, they questioned the taxi driver, checked his papers. And then they accused my husband of being an armed robber. I said, we just flew into the country. So what armed robbery was he supposed to have done? And I had a rifle and put it in the car. And my 9-month-old child was in the car.
What?
And I remember, I usually don't get upset, but that day I went mad. I said that my child's in the car. And look at you sticking a gun in the car. And it's like, it's Ghana's as well. It's that long rifle. And he was there putting it in and trying to like use it to open the bag.
Land guard or police?
Well, police, land guard, one of the two. I think because normally it's the police that has the guns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so my mistake, the police then. So even that day, we were so upset that we didn't even come and see the land. So even until we laid the foundation, I hadn't even seen my land.
This is an interesting story. So who was doing the foundation for you?
My friend, as I told...
The one who distributed the land?
No, so our friend who I said had moved back.
But then he was the only person who had built.
But he was based in Kumasi, actually.
I see.
So he was the one that came to start it off for us.
Wow, so 2009, there was nothing here?
There was nothing here until when we started. And then as I said, we did the foundation up to lintel, and then we stopped. And then that house there with the red roof was the only house that had gone up to even roofing.
Wow.
And there was nothing here for the longest time.
Just 15 years now?
Yeah.
This way has become...
Yeah, look.
What?
There was nothing else here. And I think one other house on the other side of this estate over there. Yeah. And I think that gentleman was the first one to finish their one. Even though we'd started first, they got a lot further than us.
Now I'm curious to find out how much you bought it then.
Yeah, so it was $10,000.
$10,000?
Yeah. And I know you know the prices now.
I know. Oh my God.
In fact, I even told my husband we should have got two. But he was being a bit like,
you see,
I was like, can we buy two? Like, in fact, the plot there is a friend of ours that he helped to get. Okay. That one was the lady who used to be the childminder for my kids. They own that one.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he helped them to secure more. But when I was saying let's get more, he was just like, oh, let's just start with the one we have. I said, okay.
Guys, let me tell you this. If you want to buy a property, you feel a land in Ghana right now, Accra, you feel you're too late, just calculate anything 1 hour, 50 or 30 minutes away from the city center, get it. Get it. That's what, look, I advocate for, land, buy land. Even if you don't need it, just buy it. Build a wall around it, give it to somebody for farming. And whenever you're ready, you'd never know. If you're ready and you didn't buy that specific land, go back to the same neighborhood. The money you've saved, thinking you can afford that land, wouldn't be able to. I'll tell you guys more about land later, but this is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, take me around.
Yeah, let's keep going.
That's a very good information that you gave there.
Yeah. So in the UK, we don't live in a big place, and I know a lot of people can relate to that. So originally, I actually only wanted 3 bedrooms because of my 2 kids. I wanted them to have their own rooms. And then obviously me and hubby to have our room, so that no one would need to share. And then later I said, okay, 4, so that when we have visitors, I don't make the 2 of them go and squeeze in one again.
Yeah.
And then our friend who was doing the foundation for us decided to give us a 5th room. So it ended up being a 5-bedroom from originally meant to be 3. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, guys, if you can see it on the screen, the drone footage, she has the biggest house in the neighborhood. Wow. And she's only house, with swimming pool. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Listen, I know how people in the UK or even in the US sometimes have to work overtime.
That's right.
Right, just to be able to have enough money to build something livable that they can just relocate back in and retire.
Yeah.
So it's really not easy.
No, because that's my story as well.
Yeah.
My story is not uncommon, even though it's unique to me, but it's not uncommon. So for a number of years, I used to work 2 jobs. So I used to be a manager by day, and then I used to be a cleaner by night.
What?
And I did that for a few years. And hubby as well, he was a manager by day, and then he used to do stock replenishment with a retail company by night.
Interesting.
And so that's
2 jobs simultaneously.
Yeah.
Just to be able to have a beautiful house like this. What inspired this design? I know it's 5-bedroom, but the design itself. What inspired that?
I will explain to you when we get inside.
Okay.
Because if I tell you whilst we're outside, it won't make sense.
It won't make sense.
Yeah,
I love it.
Make sense.
Show me around.
So when we go inside, I'll explain to you how it came about.
This feels very cool in here.
Yeah, like when you get a day where you get the breeze, it's really nice. Then the sun mostly comes over that side.
Wait, was this meant to be a car park?
Yes, originally. So originally we were supposed to have an entrance here.
Okay.
And then you drive in
Okay.
and have 2 cars. And this is when you was asking me, like, has the design changed over time? Yes, it has.
Okay.
Because again, it was supposed to be a car park, then there was supposed to be an entrance into the house on this
From
wall.
here, okay, like
so
a garage.
Yeah, so you go right through the garage into the house without having to open the front door.
See, and what happened?
We even had another front door on that side, which we closed up.
Okay.
Because I was like, why have we got all these doors? We're only going to need one to go into the house.
True.
And then the main one opened right into the living room, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You welcome people in, boom, living room. I was like, no, I don't like that. So I asked for that to change as well. So as I said, again, one of the common stories is that you've got your design, you've told them how you want it, and then they'll do things how they think it should be. And that's why the changes were happening over time. So hence why we didn't use this now as a carport, and that was the main entrance. So even now we said we're going to set up like seating here instead. So I come from a very large family, even though my nuclear family is small, like 2.4 children. So I just said, whenever I have family around, I want everybody to have a space that they can just go and hang out and not necessarily feel like they have to be on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like, as I said to you earlier, I'm quite shy and I'm an introverted person. So I just liked the fact that I've got corners around my property that I can go and hide out if I need to. So,
okay, I like that.
Again, it was very important for me to have green spaces around. So I remember originally when I was asking them to give me, I said, I just want a patch of grass somewhere where I can wake up in the morning, and if I want to just step out barefoot and just stand on it and just have connection to the earth. Because a lot of the time there's a lot of concrete, so you just want to have some.
I saw some of the comments saying that where's the trees?
It's coming.
It's coming.
I'll tell you why I didn't plant. Originally, hubby wasn't for the greenery. He's now changed his mind. He has since changed his mind. And I knew that if I had started planting early, no one's here to maintain. That would have been an excuse for him to say, that's it, get rid of it, cut it down. I was just like, no.
Okay,
so I had to play smart in that area. So now is the time. Like, on this visit, I'm going to be doing a lot of because I enjoy things like that. So I wanted to kind of do that myself.
Let's see.
So we got this green space here.
You have a self-sustainable water system here.
Yeah, so we've got our tank here, and then there's one also on top of the
house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is officially the back of the house. But I will say I've got 2 fronts to my house and 2 backs.
So like your garden?
Yes, so this is the back. So this is the vegetable garden.
Okay.
So I'm going to be growing food here, like vegetables, like onions, garlic, tomatoes, as much as I can fit in this space. And then I'm also going to do some growing stuff in containers as well.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yes.
Plants.
Yeah. So I'm going to be having things like that and some herbs. Yeah. So that's going to be this space here.
Okay. It will look very green when it's said and done. And the white, the white complements the whole thing.
Because again, that was another thing. I was like, I don't like colours. Yeah. There's a joke I run with my husband, but I know people get offended when you say certain things, so I'm not going to
saying it.
I'm not going to say it here today.
And I see you have a security.
So we've got the security wiring fence. Yeah.
Okay. So this goes to what? The kitchen?
So this one is the kitchen. I don't know. Do you want to have a quick peek in there?
Okay. I mean, we can go through the other side, right?
Yeah, we will go through the other side when we go.
Oh, it's locked.
So when we come back, we'll go around the other side. Yeah, so again, back here, planning on growing more things here.
Okay.
So in this patch here, and then also here, I'm going to be having some fruit trees.
Okay.
I want everything, but I kind of need to stay calm and grow the ones that I know I definitely want. But if it was up to me, I'd have an acre of land and I'd grow everything.
Yeah? I think that's coming, eh?
It's coming.
Different locations.
I mean, we've got lands in other places too, but this is where I want to live. This is my dream house.
It is beautiful. I saw you doing this on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The men were...
This is of all standard, amazing, interesting, and inspiring. And why am I bringing these stories to you all today? It's because if you are yet to find your roots, if you are yet to go down to the roots of your ancestors, and you are thinking you are lost, you're skeptical of how the journey is definitely going to end, I would say to you, fear thou not, be not dismayed. It is high time, come 2025, which is few hours from now, that you should take that bold step. Are you out there wondering, you've made a lot of money out there in the diaspora and you want to come back and invest, particularly not just in businesses, but in real estate, in landed properties and all whatnot, any type of business whatsoever. 2025 is your year. I need you to make that decision. If you are an African, it doesn't matter the country you are, and you want to go down to the motherland, you want to trace your roots down to the motherland, if you are sure, absolutely sure that your instinct is telling you that something great awaits you, I want you to take up the courage. I want you to stand up and make that decision that come 2025, you are definitely going to make that bold step. It doesn't matter where you are. Yes, and I want to also assure you that having been experienced in this path and journey of investing in landed properties, in real estate, yes, in case you don't know that about me, I am registered with 2 preeminent real estate companies in Nigeria, in my city, Port Harcourt, in my state, Rivers State, that I have been working with for some period of time now. And I can assure you that it's been a great journey. It's been a pathway of knowledge and understanding when it comes to real estate. And I will tell you that in the nearest future, if you are thinking towards that line of making investments in real estate, I would say that is one of the best investments, yes, that you can put your money in, go home and sleep. And if you're out there, a Nigerian or an African from any country, you want to know more about investing in real estate in Nigeria particularly, reach out to me, because next year, come 2025, by the grace of God, we are taking things to the next level. And I can tell you that a lot of people, even my siblings who are in the diaspora, that I have helped in securing properties for, can really attest to the fact that these companies are trusted and tested, and they are doing exceeding great in making citizens of different countries who want, particularly Nigeria, who want to invest back home, do that successfully without fear and doubt. Because we all know the sad stories of putting in your money in landed properties, and at the end of the day, it is one story or the other that leads and lands you into court cases, and at the end of the day, you might even leave this world without getting it resolved if time is not taken. So why not? If not, think of better ways of making yourself the best version of yourself, making your money work for you, putting in your money in the right path that will definitely liberate you from poverty and take you out of the circle of working years after years without amounting to anything, without succeeding, by putting your money, channeling your money into the right path and the right source. It can be anything whatsoever aside investing in real estate. But if you are one of these people that are so sure that you need to come back home, you need to invest back home, do that, and do that the right way. And that is it, guys, for this video. I hope this inspired you and you are motivated to take that bold step today. You want to visit the motherland, you want to visit Africa, no matter where you are watching me from, do that, and you will be rest assured of your safety, your comfort in the motherland, because you've heard it all from the horse's mouth of people who visited, who came back home, how well they are doing, how comfortable, how happy, even in terms of their food, the nature, the safety, the peace. In fact, everything in depth, in total, you need to know how the motherland is very, very welcoming. Like you heard, Ghana is home. Which other country welcomes you at the airport by telling you welcome back home? It means Ghana is home away from home. So it doesn't matter your color, your race, your height, the size of your pocket. In fact, as long as you're a human being, come to the motherland, Ghana, invest, live, stay there legitimately, legally, and you'll be rest assured of your safety, your growth financially, your peace of mind, your sanity, and everything that the land of Ghana will offer you. And that is it, guys. Once again, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for patiently watching till this very moment. I truly and deeply appreciate you. And lastly, congratulations for making it to this very moment in the year 2024. Soonest, we will be in the year 2025. Hooray! Like, I am really excited. I can't wait to see you all. Come 2025, few hours from now. Yes, or if you are watching this video already in 2025, congratulations to you. You made it. We made it, guys. And yes, at this point, like, share. Let me know your thoughts, your feedbacks, your opinion, your input, your objectives down there in the comment section. Like I said, 2025 is a year of exploits, doing great things, massive things. You will definitely become that millionaire, billionaire in dollars, in cedis, not just in naira, but in hard currencies. Why not, if not? And that will be you come 2025, God willing, by the special grace of God. Fingers crossed, because I want us all to win and succeed come 2025. Exactly, and so shall it be. Till then, keep vibing to your environment, to nature, your surrounding, and every good stuff worth vibing to. And I, your host, the ambassador one of the motherland Ghana, doing what she knows how to do best. Will definitely see you in my next one. For now, do have a lovely, peaceful, cheerful, amazing, and exciting day out there, wherever you are watching me on the stable of Vibe with Jivik. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.